In this video, I want to go over a calculator for Linux users called KCalc. And if you found this video on YouTube, I will provide a link below the video that has a description and how to install it on your Linux system. Now, KCalc is a KDE application. It is a calculator that offers many mathematical functions such as trigonometric functions, logic operation, and statistic calculations. Now, there's a light version and a dark version, and I'm using the dark mode or the dark theme. I've installed it by using the Ubuntu repositories, but there's other ways you can install it for other types of Linux distributions. Here's more description. I won't read all of that. You can click the link to read more about it. Now, if you're an Ubuntu or Debian-based user, you can open up your terminal. Just simply copy and paste these commands that you see on the website, put it into your terminal, paste it, put in your password, and then install it by these methods. If you'd like to remove it, just simply copy and paste. Now, if you're installing it using this method, the copy and paste method in your terminals, it's a little bit older version, but from what I used it for, I've not seen any problems with the older version. If you'd like a newer version and you're using a different type of Linux operating system, then you can click the KDE applications to take you to the KDE App Store. It's under the utilities. It's called KCalc. You can click the install method this way if you've got it set up to install by that method here, or there's three different methods you can use here. You can click install on Linux if you've got it set up for the App Stream Application Store. If your system's set up to install Flatpaks, you can install it by downloading on FlatHub. You can right-click new tab. You can just click this. I'm just right clicking it so I can keep this tab and go back as a reference. You can click install if it's set up to installing Flatpaks. If not, you can go to the setup guide, which I'll do the same thing. Open, right click, and choose what operating system you have. For example, Ubuntu. It just simply shows you how you can follow these steps to start using Flatpak. So for Ubuntu system users, if it's not set up, follow these instructions. Then you can go back after you reboot your system, click install to install it on your system. So that's using the Flatpak through FlatHub. If you prefer the Snap, installing it by Snap version, you can then go install the Snap Store on your system. Now, Ubuntu Mate is already set up to install snaps, so you just simply click the install button. If your system is not set up for that, you can go down here and choose the distributions like on the FlatHub, like Ubuntu. If I went right click on that, open up, follow these instructions here that's down here. Sudo app update, sudo app install snapped, sudo snap install KCalc, and that will install it on your system. So you can install it by, and then just simply where it says install, just hit remove. That's using the terminal, but that's setting it up to where you can install snapd. From then on, you can just click the button and it will install the application from the website. So these will install the most current version. As you can see here, it is currently November the 9th of 2021. The most current version is 21.83. As you can see, on November the 4th of 2021, it was updated. As you can see, the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th month, each month it has an update. So it's a very updated calculator. It's a very active calculator. So if you're looking for an active application, something that where people that reads, the developers read the bugs and fix the bugs and enhance the features of it, then you might want to give KCalc a try. Now, if you're an Ubuntu users, it will install some KDE dependencies, but it's not going to use a lot of space on your computer. Now, by default, it may install it in your accessories if you'd like to move it to education. If you've got an education folder, I do have those steps, but not everyone is Ubuntu or Ubuntu Mate users. Those are the instructions if you'd like to change the location. Now, by default, it will come up in the simple mode settings. There's a science mode, a statistics mode, and numeric system mode. In each of these, you can click the links, and it will give you more features and about the buttons that's on that particular mode. And then you can come down and you can configure the calculator, but instead of reading all of that, let's actually bring it up and I'll show you. Here's the KCalc. By default, it is the simple mode. It's just a little simple calculator, what most people would use every day. However, there are more advanced features. There's the science mode, where you got science, sine, cosine, and tangent. If you're in a trig class, you got your degrees, radian, and gradient. Here you got your statistics mode if you're in a statistics class. You've got your numeral system mode, like if you're in an electronics class or a logical class, you can deal with your AND gates, or exclusive OR, and all those other features. You got your percentage buttons. So let me go back to the science mode. Here in the science mode, you've got your memory buttons, your memory store, your memory clear, your memory recall, and your add display to memory. So currently if there's 0, there's nothing in memory. If I wanted to add 6 to memory, I could say memory store. And I now have memory 6, so I can clear what's on the screen, hit memory recall, and it recalls 6. I can clear that out. If I wanted to add 5 to what was in memory, which is 6, I could hit the memory add to memory, display on memory to what's in recall or what's in memory. So I hit 5, I can clear that out. Memory recall 5 plus 6, it stores 11. So there's the memory. You can see if there's something stored in your memory. If you'd like to clear your memory, then you've got your memory clear. You clear that out. So if I clear, there's nothing in memory to recall. So that is your simple memory features. Now, it will do more advanced features, but before I show you the advanced features, let me show you some of the settings. Here you can configure some of the keyboard shortcuts, and let me go back. On here, if you like to use the keyboard instead of the mouse, if you hold down the control key, it will show you what buttons you need to press on your keyboard for that shortcut key to work. Now you can go down to configure KCalc. By default, the configure dialog box will go to the general tab. You can set the maximum number of digits, to set the decimal precision. So if you'd like to round it for 2 decimals, you can click that, choose the number of places for your decimals rounding. You can group your digits for binary digits if you're in electronics or logic classes. Binary digits of 4, octal of 4, hexadecimal of 2. Here's some other miscellaneous settings you have. For your fonts, you can control or change the font on your buttons. You can change the fonts and size on your display. You can change the color by clicking here and moving the color dials, changing them here, or putting the numeric value. So you got it for your display colors and your button colors. Here you could put a constant. You could type in a number that you may type often if it's a long number, or you can go to some of the predefined long numbers like pi or any other predefined. So for now, I'm going to hit cancel, and we're going to use an example of the calculator. So let me scroll down to an application. This is what the purpose of a calculator is to actually perform an example. Let's say that you're in a trig class and you're wanting to perform something with a trigonometric functions using sine, cosine, or tangent. So if you remember back to your high school days where you was in a trig class and you remember the mnemonic SOHCAHTOA. Now, if you Google SOHCAHTOA, there's websites that give you a better description, like so is the sine equals the opposite over hypotenuse, ka is the cosine equals adjacent over the hypotenuse, ta is the tangent equals the opposite over the adjacent. They give you examples here of a right triangle diagram. Here's the opposite, the hypotenuse and the adjacent. And here's how you apply those formulas to that right triangle. So let's take a look at an example that I have here, that the opposite is x, which is an unknown. Our hypotenuse is 12 centimeters, and here we have a 25 degrees angle. So we're going to use the sine equals the opposite over hypotenuse. We know the hypotenuse is 12 centimeters. We know the angle is 25 degrees. So here is our formula. Sine of 25 degrees equals x over 12. We're solving for x. So to solve for x, we need to get rid of 12. So we're going to multiply both sides by 12 to get rid of 12. Now we can bring up our calculator. We're going to say sine 25, hit 25 sine, then say times 12 equals 5.07, which you rounded up to 5.1 centimeters equals x. So you can use this for trigonometric classes, for your electronic or logical classes, or your statistical classes. So if you're looking for a calculator for those type classes, and if you need help, you can go here to open up the handbook, what it is. You can report a bug, you can donate, you can change your language, or if you're just looking for the handbook, you can click the handbook, and it has all the functions of the calculator, modes of it, so that it goes in more detail than what I show you here. So hopefully, if you're a Linux user looking for a calculator, you might want to give KCalc a try. It may not be the calculator for you. You might have to uninstall it. I'll try to find some more great calculators for Linux. And if you found this video on YouTube, you might want to put, if you're a Linux user, what calculator you use, so other users that come across the YouTube video can see what you use, so they might want to give it a try as well. Hopefully this video has been helpful to you, and have a great day.